Almost everyone smokes it.
I love it.
Cuando era imposible soportar tanta infamia.
In 1492, Columbus discovered America.
Veronica goes Caribisch.
Welkom bij aflevering 16 van Veronica Goes Caribbean. Tevens is dit de allerlaatste aflevering van de show.
Ja. We zitten hier nog steeds op het prachtige eiland Jamaica. En Lorna, if you can please turn around. Dit is onze gids Lorna. We laten even op de t-shirtkaart zien waar het ligt. Dat ligt hier, tussen de twee officiële Lorna schouderbladen. Voor de rest wordt er voor vandaag weinig bewolking verwacht en buitengewoon mooi weer, hoge temperaturen. We zijn hier nou een paar dagen en ja, het eiland heeft ons eigenlijk best wel goed te pakken.
Ja man.
Ja man.
Respect.
Respect. Irie. Right.
Warning. The Surgeon General warns. Cigarette smoking is dangerous. Dangerous. Hazard to your head. Does that mean anything to you? Then legalize marijuana.
But I feel if everybody smoked herb, we'd have a better world.
Jamaica.
Peter Tosh said legalize it and I'll advertise it.
I'm an bush doctor, yeah. So there'll be no more smoking.
In 1988 werden de Olympische Winterspelen in Calgary opgefleurd door het kleurrijke Jamaicaanse bobsleeteam. Dat is wel zo'n beetje het laatste wat je verwacht in de Caribbean, een bobsleeteam. Er werd een film over gemaakt, die heet Cool Runnings, dat heb je misschien wel gezien. En op Curry gaat kijken in hoeverre die film op de waarheid berust. Iedere dag van de week traint het Jamaicaanse bobsleeteam op een militair oefenterrein in Kingston.
I think an obvious place to start is how much of the movie was true. I'm sure that's what everybody wants to know.
The credits at the end. Those are pretty accurate.
Het begon allemaal in 1977 toen een groepje militairen een vreemd verzoek kreeg.
I was approached by the hierarchy of the army to try out for bobsled. The army had been approached by an American businessman who was here and saw the pushcart derby and thought it was very similar to bobsledding and thought he'd like to try to put together a bobsled team. Maar dat was niet zo eenvoudig. Jamaica had geen bobsleetraditie en het team werd absoluut niet serieus genomen. Niet in het buitenland, maar ook niet in Jamaica.
Now you're of course amateur, so funding must be a problem.
Yeah, we have to hustle sponsorship from year to year and try to convince people to part with the dollar that we're a good investment.
Yeah.
It's been pretty challenging. Easily the most difficult part of this.
Do you think it's more challenging because you are the Jamaican bobsled team?
Yes, because on the one hand we have a lot of notoriety, on the other hand it has been for all the wrong reasons up to now. And so sponsors are very wary about, you know, being associated with a joke. Everybody likes a good laugh, but nobody wants their name to be associated with a good laugh. So it's been difficult.
Hi, I'm here to offer you an opportunity of a lifetime. We're looking for a sponsor for the first Jamaican bobsled team.
Jamaica, we have a bobsled team. No people say, you know, they can't believe. Jamaica, we have a bobsled team.
We had to do things like when we were in Austria training, we were really low on money. We had to sell t-shirts to buy food. And you could literally see supper coming in as somebody would pay you for a t-shirt. Yeah, wow. we had a Fiat Panda with 6 Jamaicans.
Six big guys in there.
Yeah, and it was a convertible and it was like 10 below. And we had to put the top down.
Na 4 maanden training viel de eerste ontmoeting met de winter in Calgary ook niet mee.
Psycho man, what you smoking?
I'm not smoking, I'm breathing.
The first time you actually ran the sled in the snow, what was that like?
It was like a nightmare.
Tell me.
Yeah, I was scared because it was my first time when I started from the top. I didn't know what to expect. You know, heads banging side to side in the sled. You know, it was scary, real scary.
1, 2, 3.
Na een niet geheel geslaagde, maar wel erg grappige start op de Olympische Spelen in Calgary in 88 is het Jamaicaanse bobsleedteam volwassen geworden. Nu tellen ze internationaal echt mee.
The bottom line is that we're a bunch of serious athletes in a serious sport and aiming to be the best that we can be.
Yes. Respect.
Yeah.
Respect.
Darling, hello, good looking. Hello, darling, hello, good looking. Hello, darling, hello, good looking.
This song is a song about the violence in the ghetto. And I know one day all these things must come to an end. But not until the light of justice begins to shine. Crime will never stop. There's so much violence in the ghetto where I live. There's no hope, no peace, no love to give. There's so much violence in the ghetto where I live. Everybody wants, but there's none to give. So they fight each day. They're so oppressed and so frustrated in the ghetto. Violence will never cease. The rate of crime.
Kingston is a city of about 1.4 million people. 1.5 million. The ghetto alone is about 800,000 people, 900,000 people.
Cease, will never cease. Yes. It will never cease. It will never cease.
The children who come from the ghetto, normally you'll find that they live in one room. A single room that is about 12 by 15 feet. Very often the floor is made of dirt. The walls are made of old scrap wood or cardboard. So there's just a tremendous teeming sort of anger that is happening among Jamaican people in the poor areas. And as I mentioned, it is a huge amount of our population. You have to consider that 15% of our people in Jamaica own about 70% of our wealth.
The rate of crime never decrease. Each night I hear it in the streets. The sound of the guns will never cease. Will never cease.
We're known as Central Kingston. Our whole area is known, which is really the most violent area of Jamaica. And we chose to be here because of the violence and because we wanted to really introduce a sense of peace and love in our neighborhood. Our centers take in the people that we have found on the streets, those who have just lost their way and have no place to sleep or live, old, young, even the retarded who have no place at all to go or to be.
Only oppression getting people confused in their depression. So they fight each day, 'cause they're so oppressed and so frustrated in the ghetto. Violence will never cease. The rate of crime never decrease. Each night I hear it in the streets. The sound of the guns will never cease. Will never cease. never cease. Rastafari.
Kan ik even aan de hand van de kaart laten zien, Pascal? Dankjewel. Hier ligt Miami. We gaan de komende weken naar Cuba, Dominicaanse Republiek, Puerto Rico, Jamaica, Mexico. En gelukkig geldt voor het hele gebied in de komende dagen stralend mooi weer.
So who is talk to you that? No, that's...
Zullen we de kaart er even bij pakken?
Take the long way home. 'Cause you're the joke of the neighborhood. Why should you care if you're feeling good? Well, take the long way home. Take the long way home. There are times that you feel you're part of the scenery. Oh, the greenery.
Dit was Grenada, hier Trinidad.
We zijn begonnen in de Verenigde Staten en we zijn in Mexico geweest. Hier de Virgin Islands bij Puerto Rico, Dominicaanse Republiek, de Bahama's. En we zijn nu terechtgekomen in Cuba, in de hoofdstad Havana.
Met pijn in ons hart.
Pardon me, do you have change for a quarter? I gotta make a phone call. Thank you. Oh, I hope this woman don't take me through no changes today, because I've had a hard day today, man. You know, let me see what's happening at the address before I go home. How you doing? I hope you're fine. Did your day take you through changes and mess up your mind? I just called to say that I'm on my way. Oh, and I'll see you when I get there.
We zijn bijna aan het einde gekomen van Veronica Goes Caribbean. Maar nog niet helemaal. Jamaica is natuurlijk het eiland wat vooral wereldberoemd is geworden dankzij één man. Robert Nesta. Robert Nesta Bob Marley.
Dit is 9 Miles, de geboorteplaats van Bob Marley. Hij werd geboren op ongeveer 6 februari 1945. En hoewel Bob er al lang niet meer is, leeft zijn geest absoluut verder.
Het geboortedorp van Bob Marley ligt op het platteland in het noorden van Jamaica. In 9 Miles ligt Bob Marley ook begraven. Zijn moeder is er vaak omdat het Marley Mausoleum een soort bedevaartsplek voor reggae-fans vanuit de hele wereld is geworden. En als je geluk hebt, leidt ze je rond.
So this is like, you know, the original. This is where we all play, we all, you know, eat, we all ramp. This is where Bob run around as a little boy from here, and he born right here. This is where Bob was conceived.
You know that for a fact?
If I know that for a fact, or I am telling you.
And I believe you.
You better believe it.
100%.
You better believe it. And guess what? You is the first person I think I have told this to. If I'm to think again, this is the first, I mean, it is told many times, but to come and point it out like this, you is the first person. And that is where it all begins.
De veel te vroege dood van haar zoon heeft Mrs. Booker niet cynisch gemaakt. Sterker nog, Ze put er kracht uit.
You know, as Bob said, good friends we have. Good friends we have lost along the way. But in this great future, no way can we forget the past. So, what we must do? Him said, dry your tears. See? So, I don't cry no more.
Buffalo soldier in the heart of America, fighting out survival, fighting out survival. Buffalo soldier in the heart of America, fighting out survival.
Op zijn 10e verhuist Bob Marley van het platteland naar de hoofdstad Kingston. In de ghetto van Trenchtown speelt hij eindeloos voetbal en raakt hij geïnteresseerd in muziek. Na vele baantjes en omzwervingen begint hij er een bandje, de Wailing Wailers, waarmee hij wereldberoemd zal worden. We treffen Bob's oude vriend Neville Garrick op de veranda van 56th Hope Road, Bob's laatste en favoriete huis.
This was like one of his favorite spots where he would sit out there. I'm always like, as I said, like a magnet and draw a lot of people. So like, oh, you have everybody here now. You'd have, only thing it would be his brethren and around here, and everybody sit down maybe a little closer, no camera not here, and everybody reason. You know what, Bob went through that from in the country as a child, then moving to Trenchtown. Bob experienced difficulties, hurdles all the while, and he was able to overcome all of them. I think this is why his music is so important.
How big was his love for football?
And I tell you something, if Bob was not singing, he definitely would try to be a professional footballer.
Yeah?
I love football, man. Right out here, the studio was here, Tough Gang studio that Bob built, which Ziggy is rebuilding now to a new digital studio. And it would be from the studio out here. This wasn't paved, this was like grass, and we didn't have that wall.
Right.
We had like one of those old typical Georgian kind of fence that you could see through. And traffic jam would line up when people trying to steer over and say, who's Bob playing with today?
Het voetballen is hem ironisch genoeg ook duur komen te staan. In 1977 raakte Bob in Frankrijk bij een partijtje voetbal gewond aan zijn teen. Veel later bleek dat er kanker in zijn niet goed behandelde teen was ontstaan. Bob weigerde als echte Rastafari een stralingsbehandeling en de kanker kostte hem 4 jaar later het leven. What did Bob mean for Jamaica, you think?
Well, Bob meant different things for Jamaica at different times. I think now he means most to Jamaica than ever before, because I think during Bob's lifetime we didn't know the international appeal that Bob really had. So to me he was like a folk hero here who represented the lower economic group, or we'd say the oppressed people. Because what reggae music was really the soapbox for the poor. In other words, they didn't have access to radio stations otherwise, or platforms to make their speeches. So the ghetto youths at the time, the only way they could express the frustration or what was going on around them was through music.
All pirates, yes, they rob.
Op Jamaica is Bob Marley dan ook veel meer dan een muzikant. De Jamaicaanse samenleving is bijzonder gewelddadig en het zijn vooral de politieke partijen die tot dat geweld hebben aangezet. Bob Marley heeft geprobeerd daarin te bemiddelen en daarom is er in mei 1976 zelfs een moordaanslag op hem gepleegd in de keuken van zijn huis op Hope Road.
By the end of the
See, what happened is, so it's like a kitchen here.
Yeah.
And I think, as I say, I just written one. Bob had like a grapefruit in his hand, and get ready to cut it. And I think when he heard, it was like, sound like, firecrackers, like clappers. That's what he thought was first, When he looked like that, if you know, this is right where the person was shooting. The person just pushed in the gun like that from the side here.
Wow.
Right? So, in other words, and then Don Taylor, the manager, he just happened to was coming around here at the time, and he walked right into the part of the shot. So he got like 4 shots in his groin region. That you see coming here, just coming towards Bob. Bob got 1 shot that really grazed his sternum here and then landed up like it's a ricochet. So it landed, in fact, it's still in his hand here. God, I never did take it out. So if you see like the pictures where you see Bob was holding, but all that blood was really Don Taylor because he was the one who, the police didn't want to lift him up, they thought he was dead. And this was like an ad that the government had put out after the shooting. That's when we were away.
Er is nooit iemand gearresteerd voor de moordaanslag. En Bob ging in vrijwillige ballingschap naar het buitenland. Later kwam hij terug en deed een nieuwe vredespoging die hem in Jamaica onsterfelijk heeft gemaakt. Tijdens het One Love, gratis vredesconcert in Kingston, bracht hij de 2 meest onverzoenlijke politieke tegenstanders voor 1 keer samen bij elkaar op het podium.
That peace concert, I think, was maybe one of the most telling political statements Bob ever really made. That and the concert in Zimbabwe. This one where he got Manley and Siaga to come on stage and held their hands together and sang One Love. To really a symbolic thing to show the people. To me, I always say it's like Christ on the cross between the 2 thieves. You know, like him bring them and show the people, well, these are the guys they're killing each other for, you know, see them here now with me, stop all the killing. One thing I saw last year when Arafat and Rabin met, you know, and they shaked hands, which, you know, Clinton arranged that whole Mideast thing. They did a big billboard in Los Angeles in the Jewish community, and it had them shaking hands, and underneath it, it said, if Puss and Dog can get together, why can't we love one another? Bob Marley. Yeah. And that blew me away in the sense of saying that they could have checked Socrates, Plato, you know, all the philosophers and right, Shakespeare, and Bob is somebody who never really went to high school, but still his lyrics say so much about life that they could see that important. It's heavy. Things like that show to me longevity of him more than him even being here physical now, because it belonged to the whole world.
I remember when we used to sit in the government yard in Trenchtown, observing the hypocrites as they would mingle with the good people we meet.
Jamaica will never be the same since Bob Marley made his imprint here. I mean, I think I'm really changed a lot of things here.
In this great future, you can't forget your past. So dry your tears, I say.
En met Bob Marley zijn we aan het einde gekomen van deze aflevering en deze reeks van Veronica Goes Caribbean. Met pijn in ons hart nemen wij afscheid.
We hopen dat jullie net zo genoten hebben van het Caribisch gebied als wij. En wellicht komen wij elkaar volgend jaar tegen op een hele andere plek op de wereld. Respect.